What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, we're taking a look at a brand new plugin from Waves. This is Sync VX. So if you're familiar with Vocalign, this is Waves' answer to that. Of course, I have a link in the description if y'all want to check it out, learn more about it, or pick it up. So I don't have it up now. I'm going to show you how to insert it in just a second here. I've got two vocals here. Well, let me back up. So if you're not familiar with Vocalign, Vocalign is a plugin that allows you to correct timing and pitch for vocals, background vocals, rap vocals, ADR, and such. And Sync VX from Waves is going to allow you to do that in what I feel is a really intuitive way. Now, these two vocals I have here, I'm going to play them. I'll let you hear them. And then I'm going to insert Sync VX, which is an ARA plugin. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. And then we will align these vocals with time and pitch. All right, so I've got these panned so you can really hear the difference between these two takes. This is an artist named K Penny. This last phrase that you see right here, I did kind of force this out of time myself just to see how Sync VX would line this up. So it's going to sound pretty crazy once it gets here, but you'll see why we're doing this. All right, not only did I push that last phrase out of time, I also changed the pitch on it a little bit, again, to see how Sync VX would treat this. All right, so like I said before, this is an ARA plugin, which means it's going to integrate directly with your DAW. I'm using Studio 1.7, which is compatible with ARA plugins. I think Logic is, and I think Pro Tools is. Really not sure of all the DAWs that are ARA compatible, but I know Studio One is. So that's what we're using here. Now, Sync VX, the way you're going to apply this is going to apply it directly to the track as if you would a event effects. So grab it from here, and we're going to bring it to let me first do this on this whole thing. Here we go. So highlight that first. Okay. We're going to drag over Sync VX, and I want this to go over both of these, make sure they're both selected. There we go. Okay. Now, add event effects, let it go. All right, so this is Sync VX. Let's go over the controls, and then I'll add it to the other track, which we'll also need to do. Let's resize this here. Okay, so going on top. So this is going to look very familiar if you're familiar with Vocalign. But the first thing we need to do is select a reference, and we have that here. And once you click this, we can have 4 different references, and we can also sync to 4 different references. So we're using 2 tracks, so reference 1 is what this will be. The second track, actually, let me back up a second because I've already got this on here. Let's remove this. Okay, here we go. This way I can show you adding the plugin from scratch. All right, so we're going to select the events again and bring over Sync VX. All right, here we go. So yeah, we just got it on 1 track right now, so that's why it's showing just this 1 track. And the first thing it's going to prompt you to do is to make this a reference. So we're going to click that, make this reference 1. Now I'm going to select the 2 events below it, and we'll do the same thing, drag Sync VX to that. That now shows up, and now if you look here in the middle, it's doing its work in the background, and once it says in sync, which it does it pretty fast, but once it says in synced, we know that it's now lined up and ready to go. Let's resize this a little bit. Okay, and we have the number 1 here as well on the dub track, knowing that it is referencing the track above it. All right, very easy controls here, as I would expect from Waves. We can solo, mute. We've got automation we can do here as well. And you can, we've got 100% time, 100% pitch. Of course, we can go anywhere in between of that. So really easy controls here. Now, what you can do, which is nice, is if I wanted it to ignore this part here, I can highlight that, click this, not click this. If we right click, we can bypass selection. That would bypass that phrase or what I have highlighted from being applied, from having the processing be applied to it, which is great if you're doing like rap vocals and there's some certain parts where other ad libs are in there that you don't want to be affected. You can just highlight that, right click, bypass, and then it won't be affected. Okay, so let's take a listen now. Yeah, everything's in sync. We're ready to go. Let's take a listen now to hear what Sync VX has done to this. And put that back on the loop. Okay, here we go. Let's unmute it. All right, so I think that's pretty impressive. You see it cleaned up, it tightened up those first three phrases of the last one, which was purposely out of time, and pitch, it cleaned that up as well. All right, just to quickly back up a second, under this, I said this was automation. This is denoise. I'm used to seeing automation under the DAW, under your solo, mute, and etc. All right, so once you've got what you need from Sync VX, we now need to render this. Because this is a ARA plugin, we're going to need to render this just like you would if you're using like Melodyne, for example. Once you get through doing your tuning, you then want to render it before you go forward. So that's what we're going to do here now. This is going to vary, of course, in different DAWs, but I'll show you how to do it in Studio One. So let's close this for now. Very easy. Over in your inspector, we're going to select the track select the events and the track that we have it on. And then you see here under Event Effects, drop that down. We see we have Sync VX there, and we also have a option to render. And all we do is click Render, and it quickly renders that. I forgot to do this one. Here we go. Go down to the track below it. Let's get both of those at the same time. Render. And now it's done. So once it renders it, it's going to remove the plugin from the track, and we can restore that in Studio One by hitting Restore and go backwards with it. But now let's take one more listen now that we've rendered this or applied this here to the track. It keeps getting muted. All right. All right, so there we go. There's a look at Sync VX. Let's just bring it back here to get it back on the screen. All right, so kind of big question is here, how did this compare to Vocalign? I haven't directly compared this to Vocalign. I do feel like this is a little easier to use than Vocalign. I think Vocalign has a lot more like presets that you can go through with the timing and everything. Vocalign's easy to use to me too. Like once you use both of them and get the hang of it, there is pretty easy. But this I feel is a little easier to use than Vocalign. But I think Vocalign goes a little further extensive with the presets and such that it can do. Pricing for this, intro pricing for this is $129. No, that's going to shock a lot of people because we're used to seeing Waves plugins at like $29 and $39. This one's coming in at $129. If you look at Vocalign standard, that's $160. So this is coming in a little bit under Vocalign. And I may do a video comparing the two of them. If y'all want to see that, definitely comment and let me know. I still have, if you see over here on the right, I've still got Vocalign Ultra installed on here, which I wasn't aware because I don't use these type of plugins that much. I wasn't aware that Vocalign Ultra is basically legacy now, and you've got Synchro Arts has different versions of Vocalign now. I think there's Vocalign Standard and Vocalign Pro. But yeah, this Ultra I have is an older version, so I do need to check out Vocalign 6 Standard, which I think would compare more directly with this. But again, if y'all want to see me compare those, definitely comment and let me know. Again, I'll have a link in the description if y'all want to check it out and learn more about it or pick it up. If you're doing any type of ADR, you need to sync up vocals, especially like background vocals, rap vocals. This, I think, can do it very easily and in an intuitive way, and sounds good as well, as you can hear. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if y'all want to continue to see content from me, then y'all know what to do.